And I'm back, folks. Let's... I can ditch Kitsuragi if I want to. Right, it's 9. It's probably mean keep him going. And then I'm going to go and talk to the lady about the pail. If she's still there. Good. You've got the room for night. But remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow. How could anyone forget, asshole? Oh man, if I have to do Half-Light a lot, my voice is going to go. Take it easy on him. Deep down, he really hates being the guy who has to remind you. Man, empathy. Empathy was their first bad take of the game. Empathy. What if Landlord's bad? Bet you didn't think of that. Bet you didn't think of that, empathy. I actually have 4 skill points floating around. That's quite a lot. I should internalize another thought. Now, do I want to go for magnesium-based life form or the precarious world? The precarious world is an interesting one. It seems like it's not that dangerous. I can just unequip it if I have a red check. Right? Unless red checks include the ones that just come up in conversations all the time. I mean, I can see the logic, right? Because those can't be repeated. See you in the morning. Bye. Bye-bye. And then he just clips through the door because... game. And a little bit Kitsuragi. Man, the loading screen between the top and bottom levels of the Whirling in Rags is probably the least favourite one. They both seem like such small areas. But I guess stairs present a sort of unavoidable hurdle. Oh, we didn't get an end of day debrief today. I was wondering if it would do that every day, like as a way of keeping track of progress, but I suppose building the dynamic conversation trees that could track anything you'd done would be a little confusing. Hang on, you're a different person, aren't you?
You're back.
Oh no.
What can I help you with?
Now that we're alone, what is pale? Are you sure you're sure? Your colleague seemed adamant. Yes. What is the pale? Okay. The pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, detective. The separative tissue between the isolas. It is the interinsulary mass. Wait, and what is an isola? Isola is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the pale. Also isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries we've discovered 7. Mundi, Searle, Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde. And Insulinde is an oceanic isla. It comprises mostly of water. Mundi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear. Okay, what is the pale like? Achromatic, odourless, featureless. The pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other or anything in the world. It's the transition state of being into nothingness. Is it here? No, detective, we're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometres to the north, and even more to the south, east and west. You're in the middle of the Isla. As your gaze instinctively turns north, a small black pit opens up in your stomach. 6,000 kilometres from the end of the world? Yes, that is enough. Many cities are built much closer. And there? An uproar of matter, darling, rising into the pale, rolling, evaporating even, a great vision. The area of transition between the world and the pale is called porch collapse. Imagine a grey coronal mist, cold vapour, marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism, a mould that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see. You hear your pulse rise. The air feels caustic and cold suddenly. I forgot to do the voice. What are its physical qualities? It's difficult to describe or even measure something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic. The further into pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension, right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible. If we're surrounded by pale, how do you get from Isla to Isla? Oh, it is so difficult for us. It is possible to force dimensions on the pale. In modern times we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the pale without getting lost, or having our minds damaged. The pale can damage the mind extensively. How? Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter. They call it the blend over of the self. The pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past. What does this over-radiation feel like? It feels terrible, absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travellers to 6 days of pale exposure per year. You're not a civilian passenger? No, nameless detective of the Citizens Militia. I am a member of the Entreprenetic Business class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of pale transit annually. Perhaps that explains her strange pining after the revolution? Some degraded early memories? Do lorry drivers pass the pale? Yes, carried in the hulls of airships. It's a horrific job. Automation will abolish it soon. You should ask the pale driver about this. See what she says. Yeah. That poor woman must have stories to tell like you wouldn't imagine. Are you over-radiated? Up to my gills, officer. What is entreprenetic? Entroponetics, she corrects. I must just be this spelled the same. I assume the character would have mispronounced it, but I'm pronouncing it the same both times. This is like entropy plus, I don't know, Dianetics. It's the scientific study of the pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of Grad. The study of the pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain. Did they cross it? The Western Plain? There are signs of pre-to-modern? Interesting. Pre-to-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years. What has entrepreneurs changed, then? Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later. Aerostatic craft? Hybrid airships, detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near Pale to far Pale. In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end, if we throw them precisely. If we do not, then they don't. How much Pale is there compared to the world? The Pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more Pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping. Slipping how? To our detriment? What do you think, detective? That's correct. There's more and more of the Pale. Precisely. One of the few measurable effects of the Pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate. An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the Pale will cover everything, but this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists. Cover everything? That can't be. Where would we go? Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organisations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same. Off we go. You see the hanged man's mouth open. Off we go into the wild Pale yonder. One and all, she closes her eyes. They say Pale is death, but for the universe. Why should we just leave and the world get left behind? Let's return to reality, please. Yes, sweet reality. She stomps her foot. But before we do, tell me, detective. Is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything? I sometimes sense vague shadows of a past, and it's not good. Then tell me, what do you think of the Pale? Options. It's terrifying, you were right, it's disco, it will end all life, that we continue to persist at all as a testament to our faith in one another, its advance can be stopped with immediate, total, ruthless communism, a powerful anti-communist force, perhaps too powerful, but still they have it coming. I'm worried, I have to say, it doesn't sound very liberal to me. I don't know how you've survived with it, it's a huge accomplishment. Who might think any of it? You were right. It's disco. Her eyes tense. Crow's feet radiate from them. She observes you, your bloodshot eyes and swollen face. You really didn't know. This does not spell good for your investigation, detective. If you don't know even this, then... Yes, I'm in serious trouble here. Your colleague, Lieutenant Kitsuragi, is competent. I checked up on him. And you have me. I will try to assist you any way I can. Some of that assurance is meant for herself, as much as it's meant for you. She must have a lot on the line here. Worth putting a point in esprit de corps in order to reopen the check that I should have made the first time? I don't know. Leveling up esprit de corps to unlock that check feels annoying. That person looks like Margaret Thatcher. Yeah, I believe that's deliberate. She's, a harbinger of neoliberalism in this broken disco world. I can't. Is whatever's behind this check worth one skill point? Because it's hard to imagine me needing esprit de corps much at all. Like, going above 7 in anything sounds crazy to me. There's so many other things that I need to put points into. No, that can't be worth it. What is this? A bird? A sphenocid. A flightless bird. And what is this place here? This is the pier of Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane 33A, where the tenants have been kind enough to rent me a slot. Or two. What is Rue de Saint-Gilles Lane 33A? A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see, and new buildings bâtiments, after les bâtiments nouveaux, I guess I should. But 33A and 33B are not nouveaux, they are old. She looks up at the crumbling facade. This one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall, a real high-rise by the standards of the last century, built to mirror the skyscrapers across the bay and the delta. That was before the war, of course. Who lived in them? Mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate, before the cannons lopped 5 or 4 stories off. 5 or 4? 4 or 5 stories off. Splat, splat! From the dilapidated balconies, Cindy the Skull gives Joyce the evil eye. Her red paintbrush held to her throat. Wonderful. What is this acute encephalopathy? It's a neurological disorder caused by a lack of vitamin B in the brain. Symptoms include retrograde amnesia. It's quite serious. You should get yourself checked out. She conveys it in short, cold bursts, trying not to invest too deeply in the condition of this doomed detective. What causes encephalopathy? Well, it's either bariatric surgery or long-term alcohol use. It's definitely the drinking. She nods slowly. What this boils down to is this reality thing is stupid. Blow this joint, grab a bottle and drain that shit right down your throat. Yes, and perform autoerotic asphyxiation of yourself with your funny necktie, out in the open somewhere. Thanks for your contribution, horrific necktie. Interesting that I get that second option even without making a volition check. Should I just finish off all the conversation trees with Joyce? Apart from the ones that are based on having fetched information. I want to know what you are. She hums. What are you? I am the vilest of the vile, she says with a sudden flash of teeth. A traitor, a devourer of nations and infants. I am an ultra. She raises the corner of her mouth, smirking, revealing a canine. It's sharp. Dios mío, a liberal. Yes, she nods slowly. I am the nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp. I pushed the king under a shit wagon and betrayed the revolution. My kind surrendered the nation to financial colonists. I can see you thought we'd gone extinct. After all, no sane person identifies as an ultra-liberal anymore. Not in broad daylight. You're a man of the left, no? Tell me, now that I've uncoiled myself, are you repulsed? She really is Margaret Thatcher, you were right. In her green eyes you see a mixture of truth and self-satire, decades of guilt and pride. Suggestion, forgive her. But only because you like pearlescent teeth and those light green eyes. Honestly, I may even have preferred it had the communards won. Who knows? They might really have built something better. But they didn't, because they lost. When the dust settled, the Liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. That was all our last generation managed. Would you have done something differently? With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government that keeps Martinez a monument to the efficacy of its artillery. While a gentle wind sweeps the streets in the rebuilt east, light drizzle washing it clean, lights go up and motor carriages circulate the tracts. I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the coalition. Not here in Martinez, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either, if not for my own sake. She realizes her small, cold fists are clenched. She loosens them. Then for my daughters. We had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isla down rather than let them have it. Dark orange flames reflect in her green eyes, an oil fire on the ocean. You have daughters? Yes, whatever else I am, I'm also a mother and a wife. Now, shall we return to reality? Better call it a night. The snow seems to be piling up. I'm guessing if you just try to stay out all night, you maybe freeze to death. That would probably be the best mechanic to force you to keep buying the run. But I wonder, if freezing to death is billed as health damage, whether you could just keep chugging painkillers all the way through if you had enough, and whether that might be cheaper if you had enough health. I suppose the smart thing to do is to take that rundown empty room at the end of the apartment block and see if I can move in. We started on Monday, right? And this is the end of Tuesday. So tomorrow the bridge ought to be open. Then I'll have even more places to go. were the difficulties of those checks? I'm not sure it said in there. Formidable on encyclopedia and impossible on electrochemistry. So basically neither of those is happening anytime soon. I have to admit, it does look like a pretty horrible bed. Let's see what incredibly fun dreams we managed today. The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and try your hardest to fall asleep.
Here we are again, my broken bird. The waves are coming, carrying you away. But you can't go. No, you have to stay. Always half aware of yourself. You're not cooperating, brother man.
Why?
It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep you feel a vague discomfort suffusing you. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of sand. But you cannot, because of pain.
And there's a lot of it. Ever present in your organs, it's like every one of them has their own nasty song to sing. Every cell in your body is moaning in agony, asking, what did we ever do to you? I'm sorry, cells. It's all me. It's my fault.
Finally thinking about something other than yourself. Let's see how far that'll get you.
I think I need medical attention.
Yes, they'll check you out, give you some pills, make it all okay. The Wonder Maker.
Like, am I really supposed to compete with the voice actors for this game, even though they're mostly absent?
Don't be stupid, honey. It's not happening. They don't make new kidneys and livers in hospitals. All you've got to do is pray to God it passes, while you stare at the flickering darkness.
You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people, really looking. But why would you want to start doing that?
I will. I'm looking at people all the time. I like them.
Sure you do. They're all so friendly, aren't they?
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights, blinking in and out of existence. Thoughts. You're just pretending that you're asleep, even to yourself, while the world goes on without you.
Let it. Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings. Rock and roll.
Well, it wasn't disturbing as the weird corpse dreams, so... Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your copotype. Wait, there are copotypes? Yes, guess what's yours? I was kind of hoping I'm the superstar cop. That is only a ludicrous daydream. Guess again. You're the... cool cop? No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we? Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here. Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here. Won't the other copper types be jealous? What? Jealous of the sorry cop? I think they'll be fine, don't worry. I'm opting into some sort of weird quest here, but do I want to? Of course I do. Of course you are. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this, like info, or maybe every time you say you're sorry, you get $1 million. Thought unlocked. Rigorous self-critique. Research bonus -1 authority. Embarrassment to the party. Admittedly, I do hate authority, so... You're one sorry piece of shit. A cop penitent. A flagellant cop monk. This is not the right line of work for you. You should be grovelling at the feet of a feudal lord, providing lurid evidence against yourself at a Mazovian show trial, or ripping the flesh from your back with a cat of nine tails. Whatever made you this way, you can be damn sure it was your own fault. Do it. Really criticise yourself. Who knows, you might uncover something of importance from your guilt-ridden past. Actually, I kind of went to bed too early, didn't I? I could have just read the book or something for a few hours there to finish off the other thought. Suboptimal play. Should I fetch? Yeah, he'll show up when he shows up. Horse-faced woman. The woman in an RCM patrol officer's uniform winces as she notices you.
I would really prefer not to talk to you right now.
Authority. A patrol officer is the lowest rank in the RCM, below lieutenant and sergeant. Hold on, you're a patrol officer of the RCM.
I know.
I'm a cop too.
Here's the real deal.
I want a murder investigation. The cavalry, definitely not the cavalry. And is everything alright? Why don't you want to talk to me?
I mean, why would I want to talk to you?
It's cool to see another cop. I thought Kim and I were the only
You're
ones.
not the only cop in the world.
Something changes in her. It's pity. Pity comes over her.
Okay, fine. Let's talk. What did you want?
So what precinct are you from? What precinct? She just sighs. Am I from? God, he doesn't know. Fucking deranged lunatic. The sunglasses wearing man pushes through his teeth. You're the police, right? Cool, so am I. I don't know what to say. Don't say anything, Judith. Wait, is he police? Me? No, I'm just a man with sunglasses. I like wearing sunglasses inside. Sunglasses and a fucking wig. What are you, the police, doing here? I'm just looking out for... you? No one, the man looks at her. I'm just a man with sunglasses and you are... a policewoman. Yes, her voice is quiet. The policewoman just wants to do her job, that's all. Something about the man with the sunglasses and you, the energy between you two, is making her uncomfortable. Why we always got to be finding new complications?
You look like shit.
You look like shit. Okay, I got his voice now. Well, no, I don't, but at least I know what voice I'm failing to do. Your ruffled face reflects in the man's sunglasses.
And I don't mean that as a metaphor.
I know.
Oh, don't be so modest. We are looking at
Shit.
7 months worth of damage here.
That was the second misclick. I meant to click the, it's intentional.
To be honest.
I should use the numbers, really.
No, Jean. It looks like it's been a rough week on him.
It's not just this week. What do you want?
Okay, so this guy is cool. He stands there like a statue, an angry statue, and he does not like you. Don't even try to win him over. You won't. %92 seems pretty good. I can equip my Ledger of Failure and Hatred for another +1, which would get me to 96%. I'm still failing on a double 1 though. Watch out for yourself, loser. Oh no, it's in that Empire and Empathy. Wasn't there a thing with Esprit de Corps? Oh, it's probably the jacket that I'm already wearing. Yeah, never mind. Never mind.
Again, I can't believe this shit.
You know what it is. It's like the two of you know each other. Just ask him. Tell me the truth. You know me from somewhere. Oh, I definitely know you from somewhere. Another life. From where? From another life? Yes, from another life. A different life. Maybe the life of a police officer belonging to the ranks of the... To what station do you think he would belong in this alternate and totally fictional reality? I mean, you've got to say 69, right? Like, it's... No, sod it, say 41st. Okay, the man sounds genuinely excited. That's plausible, that's entirely plausible. Now we're really getting somewhere. Somewhere good. Let's talk more about that hypothetical Station 41 you mentioned. Oh, the hypothetical 4-1. Yeah, let's fantasize about that. I'm not busy, you're not busy, let's just play around. So what would be our relationship in this alternate universe? Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment? You seem like a bit of a drag. No offense, but I could do better. None taken, my friend, none taken. Let's be honest, there have been some purely fictional talk in our imaginary station in regards of who would even be worthy of your partnership, and the conclusion is that a man with your caliber should form his own one-man policing unit. Anyone else would just slow you down. Who else is in our imaginary police station? You're not going to believe this, but police officers. Yes, sir, solving crimes, locking up bad guys, and, get this, and not getting their drink on at 2 o'clock. Just some regular boring motherfuckers in suits and uniforms. Nothing spectacularly extravagant like you, the far-out son of Lum. Do you have a crime to solve? Oh, no, no way. You see, I enjoy watching other better cops solve crimes, and let me tell you, it's been quite a privilege seeing you work. This isn't helping. I've forgotten her voice. It's like, this isn't helping, she says, shaking her head and looking at the man with sunglasses approvingly. Who is the far-out son of Lung? Oh, it's you, you eccentric genius. I mean, with your unorthodox approach to police work, it has to be you. How does he wink sarcastically? I mean, I guess all winks are slightly sarcastic, if looked at in the sober light of day. Nevertheless, I have to wonder. Want to tell me more about him? Not even a little bit. It's an urban myth, the lieutenant says quietly, about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just an urban myth. You're not the son of Lung. He is trying to protect you from further rough handling dished out by this sunglassed man. I can't imagine it anymore. Neither can I, partner. Neither can I. His grey eyes suddenly flash above the glass frames. I feel sad. It's a mere second, but it feels like you saw something. A gram of compassion in that sadness. Kim, who is this guy? I'm not getting involved in this. It's not my style. It's not my style, he thinks, glancing at the man in sunglasses and the woman beside him. Oh boy, they're mad at him. No wonder. He just doesn't recognize them. I've got some questions for you. I'm a cop. About what? You don't look like a cop. You know what you look like? Like a revolutionary? No, not like a revolutionary. He didn't answer your question. Now will you answer some questions for me? No. Why not? Because it's not my job. Why don't you go and fucking do yours and solve this damn hanging? If you don't want to answer questions, maybe you want to hear me say things? Actually, I don't want to hear you say things. Come on, Jean. Okay, say things. I want to hear you say things. Hear that? He wants you to say things. Say one. Suddenly, out of nowhere, case-related things start popping up in your head. Okay, I'm doing this investigation. A man is hanged. So, do you know who hanged him? Not yet. Yeah, I can see that. Hey, why am I even telling you this? I don't know. Why are you? What, healed morale? Huh. Who knows why we do the things we do? Somehow bouncing those ideas off the man with sunglasses felt calming. Like you've done it before. Oh my god, there's more. You want something more. What is it? Let's talk about the hanged man again. Okay, why not? Doing this investigation. Why am I... Okay, that didn't actually go anywhere. Okay, then see you around. Orbs. Okay, the man with the sunglasses in his hypothetical Station 41. Weird, right? I know, super weird. There's something we're missing here. Something you can't put our finger on. Something you can't put our finger on. Okay. You know what? Just ask him. I know it sounds crazy and you'll probably get laughed at, but still. I was thinking the same thing. I should ask him if we're from the same station. Yes, just crossed off the list. It's probably not true, though.
Again, I can't believe this shit.
Look, I just have to ask, are we from the same police station? I'm going to say no, just to see what you'll say to that. What do you say? Yeah, probably not. Don't remember you from anywhere. God fucking shit. None of this is great news for him. Okay, I was clearly wrong. He's a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent, something of that kind. Not a cop. Go on with your cop work. Don't let me stop you again. I wonder if I failed a check there. Will it tell me if I'm failing red checks where I have to make them? I don't know how punishing this precarious world thought is actually being. Let's have another go at talking to these arseholes. Why can I talk to the window? Cafeteria window. Behind the dock workers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. -12. It's not time yet. The men are talking, but you swear you hear those black limbs tap on the window as the wind blows outside. Squint. There's a little slide panel up there. It lets air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside. You're not so sure about that. Somehow you just know there's something out there behind the glass. There's something out there. Yeah, your mother. That it's not time yet. Damn. Perception's one that I might want to put more points into, but I have already put some points into it. Let's see if we can get it to be time yet.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
What do I need? What do I need? Like, authority 12. I obviously have a few things that could improve my authority. Maybe? No, I can only actually make my authority worse. Oh, I bet if I had a gun, I could equip that for like +10 authority or something ridiculous. Oh, this is how people end up buying guns. Yeah, you get those plus points. This game is making me understand things. That's not actually it's not how anything works. Okay, one more attempt to see if that door that the guy wanted us to open will have anyone behind it in the morning this time. We tried in the afternoon, and we tried every time. Why can't I just hop that fence? We tried the afternoon, we tried the evening. No one was home. Actually, that was interesting how Kim was walking ahead of me there. I wonder how much coding went into that. The way that he can follow you even if he's not behind you. I guess he just runs towards the same... Like, when you select an area to run towards, the game imagines... So the question is, will the game let me lock the door again if I go in and have a look to sate my curiosity, and then lie to the guy? Damn. I hate not knowing things. I really do hate not knowing things. So I guess Kim didn't want to talk about the pail because it's, well, the end of the world, right? It's a bit heavy. I'm starting to feel like I could go for more booze. Now, booze is quite expensive. Do you sell any under-the-counter vices? No. Frite only sells legal drugs, like the law says. Rude. What's that? Point to the raincoat. What's what? It's a raincoat. If you want to buy one, it's only 4 real. I mean, +1 endurance isn't necessarily bad. But, yeah, it's one of the cheaper pieces of clothing I've come across so far. I'll try to remember that it's there and come back to it if I need more endurance and don't want to spend skill points. Who is Saint Baptiste? You know, the pharmaceuticals company? Yeah, okay, I'm done looking at the potential of buying things in the regular things store for now. Phew, a lot of talking in this game. Love it. Love it. Alright, I guess I'm going to go and see if I can... Will you actually go to the place? Oh my god. On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers. It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this. Let's see what's inside, he thinks. Open the drawer. The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders. Browse through the folders. Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. 2 kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revshol from the outside world, from Mundi, Grad, and even Ilmara, and the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revshol. Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the import's being sold. Anything interesting? It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry. 83% is pretty good, and I don't think I have anything that increases volition. Nice, although a bit of a waste of a 5 and a 4. Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics will be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer. Look at the note. It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All the items on the list have been crossed out and the note itself is crumpled. Look, Kim, a to-do list of errands for Everart. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here. What is so special about this borscht? Code for drugs? Booze? Blood? Take another look at the note. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. If I'm supposed to figure something out, I have not figured it out. My brain, in the end, proved too small. I need to go and check if that ice cream thing has defrosted enough for me to open it. It probably hasn't. It probably can't defrost. You just have to find some kind of superior prying tool. Then there's this, of course. The container. If only I could rhetoric it open. +1 for precarious world? Will that go up even more after completing the precarious world thing, or will it just go away? Obviously my rhetoric is abysmal. To get to 18 I need to have... I mean, let's see, the smallest roll that can be affected by bonuses is 2. So I need at least... Hang on, the highest you can roll is 12, right? And that always succeeds. The highest roll that can be affected is 11. You need at least +7 in something before it... for it to actually matter for a roll of 18. Anything less than +7 isn't actually improving your chances. And I'm not getting to +7. Even if I smoke and then put 3 points into it to +4 and equip... Does anything have plus rhetoric? I have minus rhetoric. I think I have minus rhetoric that I can unequip. No. I haven't found anyone close to the victim yet. So given the +3, I guess if I did smoke and dump all my points into rhetoric, I would be at the point where I would succeed on a 12 or an 11. Since I have +3 from the circumstantial bonuses. I'm just going to hope that this thought solves the problem for me. I like that the interactable there is actually the whole, like, him and the desk.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. I opened the door to your weasel's den. Why are you shooting me, Harry? Did you not really open the door and are now just telling me you did? His lively eyes are mapping your face. You're a wild one, Harry. Well, I automatically fail all red checks at the moment, so, Drama 12. God damn. That's absolutely savage. Yeah, I was just testing you. Of course, Harry. What are friends for if not measuring the faults of one can pass in the disguise of truth? I'm told the union is involved in the local drug trade. What? He smacks his forehead, completely flabbergasted. Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any jolly fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this? No, I'm not. The man rubs his temple and closes his eyes in pain. You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend, but you know what? And gets over it in 2 seconds? Seems like it didn't really hurt him. I trust you, like I trust all my friends. And I know you'll never talk to me about this again because you don't want to wound me. So do what you want, and let's change the subject. Thank you for understanding. We will continue to do what we must. You too, Lieutenant. Here. You know, I like you, but you were never my favourite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry. None taken. The Lieutenant quickly replies and then turns to you. Do you have anything else to do here, Harry? Joyce. Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is it's not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here. Just pals. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. His voice, it's a really good one, but it's so slippy. It just wants to decay into other paths. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you find your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy. Whoa, that's so nice of him. Suspiciously nice. Are you sure? I find it a little odd. I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. He slams his fist in his hand. Politics is all about emotions, and I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me. Okay then, positive emotions it is. You like positive emotions. Why haven't you let her in to see you? If she actually wants to see me, then she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator. He doesn't want to see her. It's simple as that. Okay. Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organisation. I have no interest in what she's doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell me how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everard doesn't mind. This is weird. Not nice weird, but okay. I'm gonna leave. We'll talk again later. Okay. So I can either actually unlock the door, or I can find a way to make a drama check at 12. I was kind of hoping for more like 6 to 8 on that. Like something that would be 50-50. Without actually managing it. I'm already halfway through on the precarious world. Hello, hello. What's all this then? Ah, Falm Ultras. Gloves that make me good at fighting. I'm actually running out of space for clothes. I might have to start picking and choosing what I can take with me since I don't have any storage space in that room. And I wouldn't use it even if I did, because God, just nick it. Yeah, I'll take Half-Light over electrochemistry. Interfacing is probably actually the more useful one in general, but they look ridiculous. Of course, Half-Light isn't actually fighting per se. Pain Threshold and Physical Instrument would do that. Half-Light is about threatening, or perhaps more about the image of wanting to get into fights. If this is where I was like getting drunk, how did I get up here the first time? Where am I going to get a better prying tool for that ice box if it's not defrosted? Oh no. Well, I did come up with the alternative lose condition of, well, not lose condition, but like failure condition of it being night time. That you would run out of the ability to to talk to people, and thereby time would stop passing and you would be trapped forever. I feel like this game is too well designed to have that kind of trapped forever lose failure state. Damn, that felt good. Your heart's pounding nicely. You should tell people to fuck off more often. Wait, what? Who? When? No, you shouldn't. You're an officer of the law. Fuck yeah, motherfuckers. That's the spirit. Damn, I got a +1 both heals for that. Oh, it's from the racist guy that I told to fuck off on like day 1, and I finally passed the half-light check to get healing and health and morale from it. If only there were any reason to do so. Oh, I wanted to talk to the Pale Driver as well, didn't I? And I need to see if the bridge is open. It only calls it day 3.
Loma, you got me a past opportunity. This awful weather gives me away. You can entertain me with your questions.
I think I know what's going on with you. And what is that? She sticks a filterless cigarette into a cigarette holder and reaches for the light. You're a Pale Driver. You're a Pale Driver. You transport goods through the Pale. Great. And the friend could see it's with a head shake. He asked the Pines rep about... I can't do Kitsuraki's voice now. He asked the Pines rep about the Pale. I'm just lying. I remembered it myself with my head. I'm a detective. I need to know things. Fine then. Just try not to black out again. And don't contemplate. We don't have time for that. Yeah, no, just for detective work. That's all I needed it for. Now. That is exactly what I didn't want you to do. Ma'am, my partner wanted to know if you work in Pale transport. No offence, but your partner... She lights the cigarette, a white and silver cloud of smoke disappears into her mouth. Seems like a bit of an idiot. I blacked out after a night of heavy drinking and lost all memory of the world. Like Gabriel Buenguerra in Perguntia Puera. You're the opposite of me then. I remember everything, even things I never knew. Things you never knew? The smell of liquor on Gabriel's lips after the shoot in the motor park. The roses on the day of Franco Negro's coronation. On the grand stairs of Real, the smoke from the fowling piece when Dolores Day was shot. The look on her face, like an orgasm. The wound in her chest. My hand in my father's hand. Except I never had a father, and I never shot her innocence Dolores Day. Over radiation? Heroic dosage, Sheriff. Heroic. Isn't that dangerous? Thought insertion? Dithering? The Grad Catla Magistral? It's more than dangerous. It's sad. But at first I had to make a living. Now, when you've seen it all go away like that, rolling off like the sea, and then come back to this... She gestures at the square, the broken horse monument, the clanging of machines in the distance. What are we doing here? For thousands of years, Gabrielle, it doesn't have to be like this. We can just give up. We can just become vapor. What does it look like? Like looking into an ocean at night, in the dark. And you cannot see it, but you know it's there. It's big, bigger than anything. Bigger than all the other things combined. What does it feel like? Nothing, until it starts. When you're deep enough, Then, for me, it's like autumn. Dark grey and orange, the orange of streetlights and the colour of trees in the electric light. It smells like autumn too. It smells terrible. Nostalgia. Cooped up in the cabin, shaking. Terrible nostalgia. For yourself. For humans. It's too much to bear. She loves it. How do you pass through it? In the belly of an airship behind steel windows, so you don't look straight into it. It's not advised to look into it. Not on this lorry, then. No, the same one, a roller. They all are nowadays, special wheels for connecting to the floor of the hold. She points at the machines, clumped up like toys. One last thing. You said we can just become vapor. Yes. They say there is a point, one that I have not crossed, in the pale super deep. If you stray too far off course on the U-41A, or in Lomonosov's land, where every step you take is one step further from home, no matter the direction. It's a point you cannot become back from. Your mind becomes so radiant with the past. There is a flip. Instead of writing, it erases memory, nearing some kind of indescribable finale. Maybe you have been down the motorway south? She looks at her cigarette. It's almost out. She's swallowed it hungrily. Then at you. The motorway south? It's a story us long-haulsmen tell, long-haulsmen Jerifé, not pale drivers, way beyond the established pale that's lit by radio frequencies, where it goes silent. And dark, and the process begins. Erasure. Kilometre by kilometre, in any direction. The motorway south is a road you cannot come back from. What's at the end? No one knows what's at the end. I have only glimpsed the beginning. I've only felt it in the distance, when I was a child. A child rowing on the lake. Ma'am? Oceania. There's nothing more to do now. She's far away. You've fried both your brains enough for today, Detective. Let's get some air. This one's far gone. Motorway south, thought. -1 visual calculus for bizarre angles. That's a bit more Lovecraftian than we're maybe prepared to go for today. At the edge of the map, the landmass begins to disintegrate to pure trigonometry. The ocean melts, becoming a tangle of sines and cosines. The mountain range turns into a sharp-angled azimuth. Its green rain shadow dithers, like music turning into a waveform, and then vanishes. This is the end, a half-remembered textbook from your childhood, the porch collapsing on the edge of the isola, a transition from reality to pale. A single vector shoots out like a rocket. It's the motorway south, splintering off from the known pale. To where? Where does it go? Because I had one of these that are still just giving me, like, yeah, at some point I might have to ditch Mazovian socioeconomics. Like, my guess, I have to guess when I've got as much XP out of it as is worth getting, and then I want that +1 visual calculus and authority back again. There's some kind of superstar one I might get stuck with, because otherwise I'm going to end up overcapped on skills, which I think is a problem. Maybe? Have I talked to this CIA guy already?
Do work. Right to work. Shame on you.
Yeah. Okay, let's go check if the ice cream machine has defrosted. And if it has not, as I suspect, it has not. Then we'll call it a day. Okay, so the fact that the pry bar isn't strong enough persists in being a thing that's true. Okay, some sort of mega pry bar remains necessary. But I have no idea where we'd find that kind of thing. A tool shop, maybe. Or maybe the pawn shop. It's impossible to know. Alright. We've reached the end of what my speechifying can bear for today. I hope to see you all soon. Until then, everyone, good luck and have fun.